It's funneling all of its sugar water and resources into.
Scott's pumpkin took third place this year, but growing them isn't easy.
Anything can happen with this thing. It could crack, it could blow out the rear of it.
The keys to pumpkin success: water, nutrients, and care. I'm Ed Donahue.
More on these stories at townhall.com.
Just hearing the word IRS can make people break out in a cold sweat. No one wants to deal with the IRS, and now you don't have to. The good news is Legal Tax Defense has been successfully negotiating with the IRS for more than 15 years. It doesn't matter how much you owe, whether it's $5,000 or $5 million. You deserve the best in the business on your side, and that is Legal Tax Defense. Even if you're working with someone else and just want a second opinion, there is no cost or obligation to call. They can prevent levies, liens, wage garnishments, even file back tax returns. And the best news about Legal Tax Defense is they won't take your case unless they know they will reduce or eliminate your tax debt. Call Legal Tax Defense right now for a free, no-risk consultation. 800-292-7875. 800-292-7875. You have nothing to lose but everything to gain. 800-292-7875.
Here's Rich Thomason with the midday
Rick and Tracy Ellis team with eXp Realty.
A little bit of rain and some cooler temperatures in the forecast this week. We start sunny, but pretty quickly today we're going to see clouds roll in. Could be a couple of showers or a thunderstorm as we go into the afternoon. High temperature in the mid-80s. Scattered showers tonight with a low in the mid-60s. Tuesday, chance for showers. It's mostly cloudy and definitely cooler. High temperatures Tuesday in the low 70s. I'm Fox 2 News meteorologist Chris Higgins for the Real Talk Radio Network.
5th Street Billiards Bar and Grill in Dupont, Illinois is a great spot to hang out with family and friends. Grab some great food from their large menu and then take advantage of 12 pool tables available at no charge. That's right, free pool. 5th Street Bar and Grill also features a full bar with video gaming area and recreational but competitive co-ed pool league. Call 618-601-1321 to book your next party or event at 5th Street Billiards Bar and Grill, 200 North 5th Street in Dupont, Illinois. It's in a safe residential area, only a 10-minute drive from both the Poplar Street or JB Bridge, with ample off-street parking. Open 7 days a week, 10 a.m. to 1 a.m.
Has your home been hit by a storm? Looking to boost its curb appeal? Choose Freedom Restoration and Roofing for top-quality roofing, siding, and windows. For 12 years, they've served their community with expert full exterior remodels and insurance claims. Their stellar Google and BBB ratings reflect their dedication to detail and customer satisfaction. They're proud to work hard for their community, delivering unmatched quality. Call Freedom Restoration and Roofing at 636-498-4200 or visit freedomroofingmo.com for your free estimate today.
For residential and commercial trash, recycling, and yard waste services, it's Grace Hauling. Grace Hauling can get it done. They're family-owned and been in business since 1998. And most of all, they strive to honor our Lord and Savior. They'll give you the best service possible and competitive pricing. And their on-the-go hauling roll-off division has containers from 10 to 40 yards. GraceHauling.com or call 636-398-8060 or on the go at 636-828-5929.
Are you tired of dealing with pain, stiffness, or low energy? Struggling with headaches, back pain, or poor sleep? Your body was designed to heal, but stress, misalignment, and daily wear and tear can hold you back. At Turning Point Chiropractic, we help you take back your health naturally. Text FREEDOM to 636-220-3091 to get 50% off your first visit, including an exam, consultation, and any necessary x-rays. Turning Point, where your health and healing begin.
The Real Talk Radio Network and the Rick and Tracy Ellis Real Estate Team with eXp Realty love and support our veterans, not just in words, but in action. If you've served our great nation, you may qualify for 100% financing with a VA loan, no down payment needed. Let us help you take advantage of the benefits you've earned. It's more than a house, it's your American dream. Call me at 636-299-3702. I'm Tracy Ellis, and we're here to serve you.
The Real Talk Radio Network.
We love the station. We're trying to organize the grassroots, and we tell them the place to get the news from the grassroots about what's going on in Missouri is Real Talk Radio 93.3. We teach people how to get it online because on our side of the state, that's the only way you can get it.
That's the station we tell them to go to. If they want to find it, it's there, 93.3, and they've got the app. A lot of people are really interactive with the app.
Listen and interact anytime, anywhere.
Get the app free at your favorite app store. Look for the Eagle logo.
views and opinions of the following program are not necessarily those of the staff, management, ownership, or sponsors of the Real Talk Radio Network. Portions may be pre-recorded.
This is the Real Talk Radio Network.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is time. Can you believe it? What great music. You know, Elvis used this music as he came on stage. From one king to another, you are about to become the most intellectually mature audience in all of podcast land, ladies and gentlemen. Today on the program, General Michael Flynn will join me as we begin to save the Republic. You're going to become more informed, more aware, and we're going to do this thing together. The Right Side with Doug Billings is now upon you. Let's go.
My name is General Mike Flynn. I'm here to do a big shout out for my great friend and one of the best in the business, Mr. Doug Billings, Right Side with Doug Billings. He is the new Rush Limbaugh. He's exactly what America needs.
This is The Right Side with Doug Billings. And now here he is, your host, Doug Billings.
Wow, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. Make sure that you mark the calendar. Set this as a time capsule and a reminder that one of the biggest days in all of radio is now upon you. The Right Side with Doug Billings on the Real Talk Radio Network. What an honor to be with this team. What an honor to be with this network. Flattered, humbled, grateful, all of this. The debut of the Right Side. You've been led here, my friends, by Providence. Don't let that fool you. Don't take that for granted. This is not a mistake. It's not an accident that you're here. It's not an accident that you've been drawn into the Real Talk Radio Network as seekers of truth and patriotism. The new America is built up with grassroots movements comprised of people just like us. And we've been given a unique gift here, the chance to become really part of the most intellectually mature audience in all of podcast land. That's the gift I give to you. You can support Real Talk Radio Network. Get the app, by the way, if you haven't done it already. The app is available for your iPhone, your Android device. Make sure you listen from wherever you are in the world. We're going to take this to new heights. This is the show that has been shaking the foundations of the fake news echo chamber since December of 2020, when I started this thing in a converted bedroom. And what you're looking at, if you happen to be watching the program, is my studio, the converted bedroom in a house here that I live in. 5 years of me bringing you straight talk on what's really happening in not only D.C., but in your own backyard, around the Republic, including places around the world, wherever America is involved. Millions of viewers and listeners since that December afternoon in 2020 have stopped by with the people who are fed up with the spin, with the nonsense of the legacy media. We have been canceled from YouTube a number of times. We've been canceled because we tell the truth and because we're conservative. It's probably happened to you too, so you can identify and you can relate. But right now we're leveling up. The Right Side has been picked up by the Real Talk Radio Network because where truth speaks, it deserves the biggest stage possible. So 2 hours every weekday right here, Monday through Friday, dissecting the chaos and telling you where the chaos is coming from and why the chaos is being cascaded down upon us. We will take precision, the precision that the founding fathers' quill took with the drafting of our famous and godly inspired founding documents. We will talk about providence, talk about God. We will talk about this republic as inspired by God. But who am I really if you've never met me before? I never talk about myself, but on this, our first day together, just a brief sketch of me and what brought me here. So first of all, I'm a flawed follower of Jesus Christ, first and foremost. I've made my share of mistakes along life's journey. In fact, I'm sure that if God were to come down now and say, hey, let's make a line, everybody form a line according to who's ever made a mistake. Well, it may be that Doug Billings is first in that line, but I wonder if I would have company with any of you in that line. My vocations in life are few, but very, very passionate about them. The most important of the vocations is that I'm a father to two sons. Grant, who's 31 years old, married to his beautiful wife, Caitlin. They're off doing their own thing. And to Michael, 23 years old. And no sons have ever made a father prouder than they have of me. Grant's married, as I mentioned. He and Caitlin pursuing their dreams in life. Michael has what I call the divine chromosome. Trisomy 21, an extra 21st chromosome. It's commonly called Down syndrome. And I wouldn't change a thing about Michael. Michael's impact on my life echoes throughout what you and I will talk about. The divine chromosome has removed prejudices from him, venom. He takes joy in the simple. He's almost always happy. In fact, if we each had a little bit of what Michael and these people have in them, the world would be a better place. That's how I feel about it. Like you, I'm a veteran of life's battles, someone who grew up believing in the promises of America because I was taught about the founding fathers, taught about the Bible. And I've spent my career in the trenches of the business world, mainly in corporate America, where I spent most of my life as a human resources executive. I've been in the media twice in my life, way back in the beginning when I worked at KBEQ, Q104 in Kansas City. I paid my way through UMKC, the University of Missouri at Kansas City, back in the days where a semester of college cost me $600, ladies and gentlemen. And where have those days gone? Then again, for a short time at Wilmington, North Carolina, WHSL, I think that station went under. Then in the late 80s, I left radio and went into the seminary, studied to be a Catholic priest. That had been with me my whole life, that nudging, that give this a try and see if this is an answer. And although God wasn't leading me to the priesthood, he was leading me to other things, an awakening to his divine providence, his presence. And there's a beautiful Benedictine monastery in northwestern Missouri that's really worth your time visiting. The Benedictine monastery at Conception Abbey, Conception, Missouri. You should look into it. Go on a retreat there. Doesn't matter what religion you are, what denomination you are. They welcome everyone, and their habits and their sense of liturgy have remained with me ever since. Every morning and evening, I pray the liturgy of the hours. Converted 2 bedrooms in my house. One you're seeing now. The other one right next door here is my prayer chapel. So my relationship with God is the most important part of my life. So prayer is a daily thing for me. And after that year, I went back to UMKC. I wasn't going to be a priest. I knew that. I wasn't called to that quite then at that moment. So I went back to UMKC and finished up my master's degree in education, and I became a teacher for a few years. Now, I thought I was going to be an English teacher. At least that's what I trained to be. My first job was at St. Thomas Aquinas High School in Overland Park, Kansas. They were in need of a theology teacher, and they offered me a job. And, of course, I took it because I needed it. You're going to hear more about me and about all of this. General Michael Flynn coming up in the second hour of the program today, ladies and gentlemen. So much to talk about. Lots going on in the world. I'll finish my story when we come back. Stay with me. Cheers.
Big wheels keep on turning.
Hello everyone, I'm Corey Minke with Minke Heating and Cooling. It's time again to have your cooling system serviced. Don't wait till the heat hits to have your concerns addressed. At Minke Heating and Cooling, we service all makes and brands. And when you're ready for a new system, we are a proud provider of Heil equipment. So if you need a simple repair or a new Heil system, call Minke Heating and Cooling at 636-583-5621 or check us out online at minkeair.com. That's MENKEAIR.com.
You have heard of staycations, but the kiddie pool in the backyard is not exactly staycation worthy.
All right, kids, cannonball!
No, Dad! Pools are so much more than just a place to catch a tan and relax. They are a place to make family memories that will last a lifetime. With 50 years of experience creating custom concrete or fiberglass pools, Blue Haven can design a new pool that fits your family or remodel that old pool that's seen better days. Visit their 5,000 square foot showroom in St. Peters. Blue Haven Pools. Online at bluehavenofstlouis.com.
There's nothing worse than watching your prized possession get pummeled by hail. Don't say,
"Oh, hail."
Just rub your badly damaged vehicle 3 times and say,
"Oh, Magic Man."
And Kevin Gotch, the man with magic hands from Washington Dent Company, will instantly appear and make all the damage go away like it was never there. Well, actually, call Kevin at Washington Dent Company, 636-575-0681.
Thank you, Magic Man.
Are you struggling to find the best candidates for your business? Rocket Careers specializes in recruiting top talent for small and mid-sized companies. Do you know someone out of work or hates their job? Rocket Careers also offers expert career coaching to help job seekers reach new heights. Visit rocketcareers.com. That's ROCKIT careers.com. Or call 636-778-2419 to schedule your free initial consultation today. Let's launch careers.
I'm Brian Dawson with Brian Dawson Roofing. I want to do your roof, but also you could have siding, gutters, windows, garage doors. We do all that too. I'm not in competition with the local roofing companies, but the ones that really bug me is the out-of-towners, the fly-by-night. Your warranty lasts as long as you can see those taillights. Call me at 636-465-9465 or look me up at BrianDawsonRoofing.com. Make sure you say the whole thing, Brian Dawson Roofing, or you might not get the right company.
The Real Talk Radio Network.
If you want to hear the truth and you don't want any BS, it's a good place to listen to.
The Real Talk Radio Network.
We listen to it every day.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. The Right Side with Doug Billings, where we meet in determined prayer and determined patriotism. Just giving you a little sketch, a little historical sketch about me, and I'm going to finish this up real quickly because we have other things more important than me to talk about. But I wanted to give you a sense about how I got here. I think it's important as we begin our relationship together on air, when you become part of this club over here at Real Talk and on the Right Side. I want you to know a little bit about me because I think it's important. We, in the seminary, I left, but I learned something very important. And I mentioned this the other day when I was filling in for Rob Carter. But for me, life is all about vocation. What are we here to do? Why did God put us here? What is the meaning of our life? And that's a multifaceted question, obviously, and a deep one. And there's more than one meaning, but the primary meaning, of course, is to find God. That's the meaning of our lives. That's why we're here, to find and establish a relationship with him. So that's number one. Beyond that, and I would dare to say second to that is the meaning of life is how do we enter into the lives of other people to make differences for the better? That's at the core of what I've believed in ever since those early days in the late 1980s when I was in the seminary. So that's been a mantra of mine. How do we enter into the lives of other people to make differences for the better? That's why I entered the seminary. It's why I became a teacher. And then after a few years of teaching, as many teachers do, we take summer jobs to make extra money, which is another story all to itself. But I accepted an internship, a paid internship at Sprint, which is now defunct. It was bought out by T-Mobile. But at any rate, in that summer, I made more money at that paid internship than I did all year teaching school, which is really funny and sad all at the same time. And like I said, that's another whole story about the justice of teaching salaries in this country. But I went there because I became a teacher because that's where I felt as if I could fulfill that meaning of life, entering into the lives of others, i.e. students, and making differences for the better. When I sat down and spoke, at the time I was married and we had a new baby on the way, and this internship was paying me this much and school was teaching me this month, Sprint had offered me a job to come on board in their HR department. And so I had to really pray about that, talk about that, and discern that. But I ultimately chose that path because I needed to be able to afford and pay for and more easily with that salary, my family. So took the job, went into HR, and to make a very long story short, spent 26 years in corporate America and rose up through the ranks and ended up as a vice president of human resources. And then in 2020, of course, a lot of things begin to happen. We have the theft of an American presidential election. We have the beginnings of the COVID nonsense. And I left corporate America for a number of reasons. They wanted me to draft policies to sequester people away during COVID. I wasn't about to do that. I've talked about that before on this show when I filled in for other people. But suffice it to say, I didn't want to do what they were asking me to do, so I left. I just walked away from corporate America, and I created what you're seeing. If you're watching the show, this studio, and I began The Right Side with Doug Billings in December of 2020. And I wanted to tell the truth. I wanted to get the truth to people. And at the beginning, it was about this theft of the American presidential election. I went on YouTube, and it took about 7 months, which in the grand scheme of things isn't a long time, but it took about 7 months for the show to get its legs and people to notice it and so forth. And it was because of General Flynn primarily that happened. I don't remember, maybe I'll ask him today, that when he first saw my show, but he came on and I was talking with him about a bet I had made prior to President Trump in 2020. I bet a friend of mine that I went to high school with a bottle of wine that Trump would win. He would, and I said to him during this time, I said to Flynn when he came on my show, do you think I should concede? Do you think I should concede the election? Should I give this guy the bottle of wine? Did Trump really lose this thing? Because you guys know, we were all worried and wondering about theft and fraud and so forth with regards to that election. So he said, famously, hold the wine. Don't give up the wine. And ladies and gentlemen, that went absolutely viral. Millions of people came by to watch that. I saw shirts made, hold the wine, in a quote tag from General Michael Flynn. It was incredible. The show blew up. We had millions of viewers over on YouTube, and YouTube's monetization was very good. But then after a couple of months, it dawns on YouTube. They look at this guy's numbers. Doug Billings, what's he doing? How did he get what? He's conservative. Oh, no. And they canceled me. They canceled me because I'm talking about the theft of an American presidential election and was beginning to talk about the nonsense surrounding COVID. So in late 2021, I'm just wiped out of YouTube. Everything gone. Every show I had ever done. And all of the followers, the viewers, the people that liked the show, gone. And I had to begin to rebuild from scratch. And I tried to do that independently. And we got back to a certain degree, but it was never like those early days. But that's what the radical left will do. They'll sign. I'm not complaining about all of that. There have been so many blessings that have happened to the show and in my own life as a result of that. I am not complaining at all, just letting you know how I got here. And so Tracy and Rick Ellis and I had met along the way. Tracy and I met at the Reawaken America tour circuit somewhere along the way. Maybe it was Oklahoma or somewhere where we met. And we began, this is 2 or 3 years ago, and we began talking about this moment, about coming to the Real Talk Radio Network. And everything just had to kind of fall in place and align. Sometimes, it's like watching the justice system in America, right? When we want justice right now, why haven't there been any arrests made? Well, we have to bless ourselves with patience. And these things happen in sometimes time frames that we would rather be quickened, but for their own reasons and because of divine providence, they happen in their own time. So that has led me here, and here we are. Divine providence. I'm going to give you the what and the why behind what's going on in America, behind all of the agendas that you see from the right and the left. And I want you to know more than anything else that divine providence still guides this nation. If we would just listen to providence, we would understand that. I'm going to defend American conservative values, the same values that built America, by the way. Individual liberty, limited government, the right to keep what you earn, and to provide, hopefully, a moral compass pointed straight at God's unchanging truth. It never wavers. And those are not my inventions, certainly. Those are the intentions of the founding fathers. And if anything, I am huge on returning to the foundations and the intentions set forth by our founders, because, folks, let's be honest, we have drifted miles away from what their intentions were. They, with their sweat and blood in the battles of revolution that went on in 1776 and before, brought us to a point that was blessed by the hand of the Almighty, who raised this republic from the wilderness. I believe it with all my heart, mind, and soul. And liberalism, you better believe we're going to talk about that too. Why it's not just wrong, it's anti-American. At least that's what it's now evolved into. Don't get me wrong. There was a time when liberalism was a pro-America movement, albeit much different of an aspect or an outlook than ours. They weren't swallowed by immorality as they are now. But what was the Democrat Party doesn't exist anymore. Liberalism today is a Trojan horse for chaos dressed up as compassion. It's promises of equality, but it delivers envy instead. Liberalism will preach tolerance, most certainly, but it silences dissent. And it worships the state while it mocks our creator. So is liberalism dangerous in today's world? You'd better believe that it is. I mean, evidence of the obvious is sufficient. Liberalism is the slow poison that's turned thriving and beautiful cities in this country into war zones. And it's turned free markets into government handouts. That's what liberalism has done. The good news is we're turning the tide, and I'm going to tell you exactly how. I always default to the positive, and we're going to do that on this program. Stay with me, ladies and gentlemen. I'm up against another break. Come back to me, will you? Cheers.
My brain is flaming. I don't know which way to go. Your kisses left behind like a sweet song of a choir. You light my morning sky, burning love.
Hi, I'm Bob Kershaw with Retirement Advisor Group. Are you worried about market volatility? Are you concerned your money won't last you through retirement?
Hi, I'm Tammy Kershaw. As a family business, we are committed to protecting your retirement, whether you're nearing retirement or already retired. I have many female clients and widows that don't fully understand their investment choices. Would you like a retirement review and a second opinion on your current retirement plan? Are you aware of all the fees that you are currently paying, and would you like to learn how you can avoid those fees? Call us now at 314-993-9494 or go online to retirementkey.com. And just for coming in, you'll get a copy of our latest edition book, Your Key to a Worry-Free Retirement. Let us show you how to retire with confidence.
We've been helping retirees and pre-retirees for the past 37 years. Let our family help your family. So go online to retirementkey.com. That's retirementkey.com.
In this family, we don't let our people deal with hard water. You got salt bags to haul? Forget about it. Filters to change? That's not your problem anymore. At Bono Plumbing, we take care of everything. Installation, maintenance, plus salt delivery. We've been serving St. Charles and the surrounding neighborhood since 2014. And we've built a reputation that even our competitors wouldn't dare mess with. We treat your family like we treat our own, with respect, honesty, and care. Call 636-294-9110 or visit bonoplumbing.com. Got plumbing problems? Forget about it.
Are you still searching for answers to your health concerns? At the Center for Natural Health in St. Charles, we take a different approach, a holistic one. Through chiropractic care, acupuncture, nutrition, and muscle testing, we uncover the root cause of your pain, even when others can't. That's why people drive hours to see us. Before giving up hope, give us a call. The Center for Natural Health, helping your body heal itself. Visit tcnh-stl.com or call 636-724-5757.
At April's on Main, we're more than a shop, we're a creative destination. We carry Inish Lotion and beautiful holiday pieces from Nora Fleming, Mark Roberts, and Karen Didion. Need design help? We've got you. Our expert staff and interior designer at Designs by Ave can help with furniture, bedding, upholstery, and full home design. And don't forget our second store, packed with stunning home decor and multiple furniture lines. April's on Main at 222 North Main Street. Call 636-395-7605 or visit aprilsonmain.com and get inspired.
Stop dreaming of owning a home and let the Rick and Tracy Ellis team with eXp Realty help you make it happen. We know the process can feel overwhelming, but that's where we come in. We have a team of vendors to help you throughout the process and beyond with anything and everything you need during home ownership. After nearly 30 years in the business, we have vetted quality and affordable vendors in the industry. People ask us all the time how they can support us at the Real Talk Radio Network if they don't have a small business to advertise. You can support us by letting the Rick and Tracy Ellis team represent you with becoming a homeowner. We specialize in making home buying easy, stress-free, and exciting. From finding the perfect home to securing the best deal, we will be with you every step of the way. Stop renting and start investing in your future today. Call us at 636-299-3702 or email me at tracy@tracyellis.com. Let's turn your dream home into a reality.
The Real Talk Radio Network.
Best thing that's happened in St. Louis, and I so appreciate you guys doing it.
The voice of freedom.
A little less conversation, a little more action. All this aggravation ain't satisfaction in me.
Welcome back, Real Talk Radio Network. Not only providing intellectual maturity, but the best bumper music in the world, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, 1 hour from now, General Michael Flynn, right here on this program. 1 hour from now, you'll want to make sure you stick around for that. A lot of good conversations. On Wednesday, David Harris Jr. will be joining me. And on Friday, Eric Trump, right here on the program. We've got a lot of American patriots in the pipeline. Roger Stone wants to come on the show, and we'll get a lot of people in here that, and you know what? Not just the tier one folks, but we'll get a mix of everybody. Everybody who has a voice and wants to shout out from the mountaintops how to save the republic, and with ideas and good analysis of the news will be invited on. We are in this country, though, ladies and gentlemen. I want to be clear. A lot of things going on that we could complain about, and we do. And there are plenty of things that are driving us away from the intent of the founding fathers. This was especially clear during the administration of Administrator Biden and Vice Pretender Harris. We saw the entire country just go into a nightmare, and it was no sugarcoating that. But I've never been one to believe that America was on her deathbed. I still don't. I still don't believe America is on her deathbed. Now, she could be if we had not awakened to this nonsense. I was not among the first to be awakened in 2020. The story I told, a lot of you were awake before I was to the things that involved the theft of an American presidential election, the COVID nonsense, and so forth. But here we are today together talking about this, and there are millions more of us than there are from the radical liberal movement. They are shedding followers and party members by the millions. And that's part of the reason why Trump won this last time, was that, we saw people like Bobby Kennedy, Tulsi Gabbard, Elon Musk, who were lifelong Democrats, come over to our side. Well, I can tell you with 100% certainty that John and Jane Doe on the streets of America, who were also lifelong Democrats, took a good look at what was happening in the nightmare that Biden and Harris had created. And they said, this is not what I've signed up for. And they came over to our side. And so did young people, Generation Z, in record numbers. So good news is all around us. And you'll hear me say from time to time, in the midst of tragedy, adversity, and challenge, blessings are there waiting to be born. So we've got Trump back in the Oval Office, providing once again an America First agenda. And folks, that's not just a slogan, that is survival. That's how this republic survives. And it gets even better because we're not flying solo on this thing. Here, the right side, your ticket to the inner circle of conservative firepower. We're going to deliver it to you every day to the best of our ability. In in the coming days and months, we're going to experience much more than hope, and hope is necessary. Now, don't confuse that with hopium. We're not talking about nonsensical hope. We're talking about hope based in reality. And we're talking about leadership, about being on the right side of history, and diving into the headlines with an analysis that you're just not going to get from the mainstream media. So we'll bring you more than just headlines here. We're going to bring you revelation of the analysis and the reasons why the radical liberal movement behaves and acts the way it does. And so you'll need, I hope, and I'm hopeful that you'll discover a need to follow the Real Talk Radio Network and everyone who broadcasts on it, and make sure that you stay in tune and in touch. Callers, I would love to have you call in to the show. If you feel like you want to be part of the discussion, as long as it's on the topic of the day, feel free to call in. The number 636-224-6300. Many even know that by heart. But remember, we're going to give you the truth, and we're going to look at the analysis of the news of the day and provide you with things that you just don't get anywhere else. Today, for example, one of the number one stories is that President Trump and his administration have just dropped the hammer on crime-riddled wastelands of Democrat-run cities. I mean, you look at places like Portland, Chicago, various blue cities in California. It's like you're watching the old, what's Escape from New York, Snake Plissken. You need Kurt Russell to rush in and save us. Chicago has been labeled a war zone by the feds. Portland is the same way. And the National Guard troops are rolling in. Now, I know that there's the judge out there who's temporarily put the kibosh on all this. Like all of the other nonsensical rulings these liberal lower court judges put in place, it will be overturned by the Supreme Court. So the Guard will eventually descend to take place. And the tragedy really is the loss of, the loss of life is never good. But these cities, Portland, Seattle, San Francisco, Chicago, just to name a few, beautiful cities that are just ruined by the radical left mob. It's tragic, it's immoral, but Trump's going to have his way with this issue, folks. This is not theater. Trump is delivering on the promises he's made to make America safe again. And these are the two most strongest points of polling with regards to Trump. One is crime. The second is the illegal immigration issue. He ranks astronomically high on both issues. The Democrats can't come close. But we cut through what the legacy media is wanting us to believe. And, this nonviolent, these gatherings are all mostly nonviolent, that nonsense. We can just look with our own eyes and see that's Kookville. You turn on ABC or whatever alphabet soup station that you want to watch. This is authoritarian overreach, federal invasion of states' rights. You can't do this. It's Hitler. It's Nazism. Please, right? Spare me the crocodile liberal tears from the same crowds that would cheer when Joe Biden's Department of Justice ordered the FBI to investigate conservative members of school boards throughout the country, or who ordered the investigation of Catholics throughout this country. Give me a break. That's not what Trump is doing. Trump is delivering justice, pure, unadulterated law and order, the kind that our founders envisioned when they wrote the Second Amendment and when they praised a well-regulated militia. Remember those writings and those teachings, if you will, from our founding fathers? I'm often amazed why more states' governors don't pay attention or try to develop a state militia, a voluntary militia, a self-funded voluntary. If I were governor somewhere, I would certainly be advocating for that. I'm surprised why more don't. But George Mason said it correctly. A free people ought to be armed. And he's right. So today, free people from around the country, especially in those war zones led by blue-leaning politicians, they're getting backup finally from the commander in chief. And why now? I mean, does it beg the question? Maybe. Because the numbers don't lie, even if the Democrats do. Chicago, talk about numbers. Over 600 homicides this year alone. I mean, with 3 months to go? More bodies in the streets in some actual war zones overseas. And who's running that clown show? A commune socialist mayor and a governor more worried about pronouns than criminals. Commune socialists, yes, that's what I called them. The Democrat Party doesn't exist anymore. They've conglomerated communism and socialism, so it's the Commune Socialist Party, in my view. Liberalism's agenda. Don't lose sight of this. Defund the police, coddle the criminals, and watch cities burn. It's anti-American. It's immoral because it rejects personal responsibility, which is the bedrock of our republic. Our founders didn't cross an ocean and fight the redcoats so that we could subsidize savagery with taxpayer dollars. No. They built a nation on the divine truth that all men are created equal, not equally entitled to riot without consequence. You know it's bad when even the pigeons in Grant Park are packing heat for self-defense. I'm telling you, it's bad. It is so bad. But seriously, Trump's move is a genius one, as are most of them. It's not just boots on the ground, my friends. It's what he does sends a message to every gangbanger, every criminal, every thug out on the street. Every Soros-funded agitator gets the same message. Your reign of terror ends here. And to the American people, all of this obviously sends a message that conservative governance works. Look at what conservative governance has done. Secured the borders, strong law enforcement, and zero tolerance for the purposeful chaos that liberals cascade and breed within our cities. It is purposeful. Ladies and gentlemen, if we understand anything, we have to understand that. The chaos that you see, whether it's in Portland, Chicago, wherever, it is not accidental, it's not organic, it's purposeful, it's by design. The radical liberal movement does this on purpose, and George Soros funds most of it. That's why we fight, not with having pallets of rocks, bricks, and stones delivered to street corners, but with the truth. We fight back with truth, statistics, and investigation, because safe streets ultimately mean safe families, safe schools, safe futures. And that's what almost everyone wants. And under Trump, we're getting those things back. Remember, the radical left liberal mob that you see on display on the media is a vast minority, not only of people, but of thought in this republic. Schumer and the rest, Schumer at one point was, believe it or not, might be hard for you to believe, Schumer once upon a time was a mainstream thought kind of guy. He wasn't a radical liberal. He's still not radical, believe it or not, but he does yield to the radical liberal movement in that party. He's absolutely terrified of AOC and the likes of her. So he will go along with the vast minority within his party, and he's going to see the majority of his party either jump ship, abandon ship, or it will crumble. I don't see how they're going to win any election. I don't want to jinx us. I don't see, without proper self-reflection on what they're doing and the interpretation of what the American people see them doing, I don't see a Democrat winning outside of this guy in New York, for example, may well win because New York is so filled with not just radical liberals, but there's also election integrity issues, folks. That's a real issue. Elections are not always secure, safe, and transparent in this country, and those things exist. So where do we go? Where do we start? Well, we never give up. We make sure that we have what we know is truth, and we tell the truth. Sharing this show, reposting the Real Talk Radio Network broadcasters whenever they're on air, share it with your friends, and make sure that you support the people on the programs that we see and on this network. There's no escaping the hope that's out there. Hope will prevail, and the divine providence of God never fails. All right, up against another break, ladies and gentlemen. Going to wind down the first hour. Don't forget, at the bottom of the next hour, General Michael Flynn right here in the program. Stay with me. Don't turn the channel. If you do, the liberals win. I'll be right back. Cheers.
Spider Murphy played his inner saxophone. Little Joe was blowing on the slide trombone. The drummer boy from Illinois would crash, boom, bang. The whole rhythm section was a purple gang. Let's rock.
Hi, I'm Bob Kershaw with Retirement Advisor Group. Are you worried about market volatility? Are you concerned your money won't last you through retirement?
Hi, I'm Tammy Kershaw. As a family business, we are committed to protecting your retirement, whether you're nearing retirement or already retired. I have many female clients and widows that don't fully understand their investment choices. Would you like a retirement review and a second opinion on your current retirement plan? Are you aware of all the fees that you are currently paying, and would you like to learn how you can avoid those fees? Call us now at 314-993-9494 or go online to retirementkey.com. And just for coming in, you'll get a copy of our latest edition book, Your Key to a Worry-Free Retirement. Let us show you how to retire with confidence.
We've been helping retirees and pre-retirees for the past 37 years. Let our family help your family. So go online to retirementkey.com. That's retirementkey.com.
Howdy, I'm David with Fed from the Farm. We raise the best 100% grass-fed to finished beef, pasture-raised pork, lamb, and eggs you've ever tasted. And we deliver it right to your door. Raised right. Grass-fed means no grain ever, no GMOs, and no MNRA vaccines either. In today's chaos, your family needs a farmer you can trust and a healthy source of food you can count on even when the store shelves are bare. You can order online at fedfromthefarm.com and get started making a difference for the health of your family and transforming the landscape your children's children will inherit. We are honored to be your farmers.
You have heard of staycations, but the kiddie pool in the backyard is not exactly staycation worthy.
All right, kids, cannonball!
Go, Dad! Pools are so much more than just a place to catch a tan and relax. They are a place to make family memories that will last a lifetime. With 50 years of experience creating custom concrete or fiberglass pools, Blue Haven can design a new pool that fits your family or remodel that old pool that's seen better days. Visit their 5,000 square foot showroom in St. Peters. Blue Haven Pools. Online at bluehavenofstlouis.com.
Looking for something truly unique? Scott's Amish Log and Rustic Furniture and Taxidermy, where the wild meets the handcrafted. They offer lifelike taxidermy mounts of all kinds, from majestic moose and bear to exotic wildlife and small game. And while you're there, browse their stunning selection of Amish-made live-edge solid wood furniture, beds, kitchen tables, rocking chairs, bar stools, and more. Scott's Amish Log and Rustic Furniture and Taxidermy, 1203 East Veterans Memorial Parkway in Warrenton, Missouri. Nature, craftsmanship, one of a kind.
The Real Talk Radio Network.
We love the station.
Love 93.3.
The voice of freedom.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. The Right Side with Doug Billings, where I admit it, I do. I take a great amount of joy in pointing out the intellectual immaturity of liberals everywhere. Thanks also for everybody listening on the Real Talk Radio Network app. Wow, I just saw a post from our friend Drew Shelton. Thank you, Drew. We are from Finland to Alaska and everywhere in between. You guys are listening to the Real Talk Radio Network. Thank you very much. I got to think that in Alaska, my friend Kim Green McDonald might be listening out there in the frozen, or at least soon to be frozen, tundra of Alaska. Alaska, one of the most beautiful spots I've ever been. Went there one summer in June for the running of the Reds and did my fair share of salmon fishing up there. Beautiful state. If I were ever to go off grid, that might be the spot. But thanks to everybody out there watching, listening, whatever you're doing, watching or listening. Maybe you're doing both. We are in the end of the first hour here. I want to make sure that I take a moment. We're talking about Trump and these cities that are absolutely under siege. You know, the lunacy legacy media and their headlines, you know, fascism, Nazi, it still hasn't stopped. Not even after the assassination of Charlie Kirk, when you would think there would be at least some self-reflection by the radical liberal movement in this country that maybe they should tone down their rhetoric. Because, folks, I mean, let's be clear. I could show you a 2.5-minute montage of liberal talking heads, from people in the elected class, musicians, comedians, talk show hosts, etc., all calling for assassinations, harm, violence, resistance, and so forth. That's what the radical left does. They don't have the gift of what we have, the divine providence, the ability to see that in the midst of tragedy, adversity, and challenge, blessings are waiting to happen. And that's the difference between us and one of the differences. But they still cry out fascism, Nazism. What if I told you that what you're seeing in America right now is the most pro-America movement since Reagan began to stare down the Soviet Union? This is not overreach, what Trump is doing, folks. This is restitution. I've never agreed with people on our side who call out for vengeance. I'm not all about that. I am for restitution. Make it right. I think we restore the rule of law that liberalism has been systematically trying to dismantle. That's where we begin as conservatives. Because think about it. Back in 2020, when the riots were scorching Minneapolis, Kenosha, and other cities in Minnesota, thank you very much, by the way, Governor Tim Walz of Minnesota, the poster man of the wussification of the American male, who allowed Minneapolis to burn. Democrat mayors ordering cops to stand down while looters looted and did all of the mob thing from arson to anarchy. They did it. And they call it mostly peaceful. Right. Well, if your definition of peace includes torching businesses and terrifying kids and teaching children that the only way to be happy if you believe in transgenderism is to mutilate your body, well, then I've got news for you. That's the fruit of progressive liberal policies, and they're not being stood for in this country. I mean, look what they've done. Cashless bail, sanctuary cities for illegals who prey on citizens and kill them, and a justice system that's softer than a soy latte. You can't get anybody in a radical left city, especially not a radical left-leaning judge, to sentence any criminal with extreme prejudice. And if they are sentenced, they're let out early. Dangerous? Absolutely, it's dangerous. It's anti-American because it inverts justice. It punishes the producers and it rewards the predators. And at the center of the bullseye of liberalism is chaos. That's what they want to hit purposefully. And the founders warned us about this. They said the price of greatness is responsibility. And even Winston Churchill echoed all of that. But it really, ultimately, what we're talking about, folks, traces back to Proverbs 14:34. Righteousness exalts a nation, but sin is a reproach to any people. Chicago's reproach? Decades of government one-party rule, turning the city into a war zone. And Trump's fix is going to be swift, surgical, and scriptural in its clarity. Deploy the guard, empower local law enforcement, and drain the swamp of activist judges blocking the will of the people. This is all part of it. Over the weekend, a White House briefing, Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt, she didn't mince words. She lashed right out at the abuse of states' rights by governors who abdicate their duty to protect their citizens. Folks, anyone with any shred of intellectual maturity sees this. That's why ultimately, although it's going to take time and determined patriotism, we have very little to fear here. We will prevail in this. Providence will prevail. But the results of what these radical left governors are doing are terrible. And just in the last few months or weeks, I should say, President Trump, the early results are in. Arrests up 40% overnight in Chicago hotspots. Families now beginning to be able to sleep easier at night. Businesses reopening. That's the Trump effect right there. Decisive action that liberalism can only dream about because their ideology is allergic to any kind of accountability. Well, we're going to bring accountability. I often thought during this last election cycle, we have General Flynn on in about 30 minutes or so, but I was always wondering about that because people were calling for him to be the vice president. You need to choose Flynn. I always said, and I still believe, and this is no offense to J.D. Vance or the office of the vice president, but General Michael Flynn is too important to be vice president. So I always would kind of tease him, but also kind of seriously say, you need to be the secretary of accountability. You know where the bodies are. You know where the receipts are. You need to be the person that brings accountability. So, and we'll talk with the general about this. He's in Washington, D.C. a lot these days, and I have a feeling he's advising the president on a number of issues. We'll ask him. We'll talk about it and see what he says. But the Secretary of Accountability, I always liked that. And if Kamala Harris, are you kidding me? We're vice president. She'd probably send therapy dogs instead of the National Guard or some crazy. She certainly wouldn't be doing this. What can be unburdened by what has been? I wish I could imitate her. What has been unburdened by what has been? Well, she and the radical liberal movement have been unburdened by reality, and we're not about to let them slip back into it. And, if we talk about hope, if we play our cards right, I should say if J.D. Vance plays his cards right, we're going to have the presidency for 12 years, Trump and him. But under Trump, we are not burdened by what has been. We are burdened by results, and the results are fantastic. And the deeper cut, this isn't just about crime statistics, ladies and gentlemen. It's about reclaiming the American dream from the jaws of despair. Our founders, men of faith, some to various degrees, I understand, Washington, who knelt in prayer at Valley Forge, knew that ordered liberty demands ordered streets. Divine providence didn't give us this land so that we could let it devolve into what Mad Max had to deal with. It's our duty to steward it and to pass it along to our kids. That's exactly what this show is going to do. The end of hour one, ladies and gentlemen. Hour two coming up with General Michael Flynn. Stay with me. Cheers.
Travel, exciting and new. At Archer Luxury Travel, they're expecting you. Come along with Archer Luxury Travel and they'll make all of your vacation dreams come true. From cruises to Disney, luxury hotels and resorts, Archer Luxury Travel does it all. The sea, the sun, and so much fun. Archer Luxury Travel is family owned and operated. Call the owner direct at 832-474-9038 or visit archerluxurytravel.com.
Hi, this is Billy Bush. If you know me, you know I love to travel with my family. There is nothing better. When planning our vacation, we rely on Archer Luxury Travel. Deanna Archer, owner of this family business, makes sure our vacation experience is a great one. Give Deanna a call when you're planning your vacation. That's Archer Luxury Travel.
Call Archer today, 832-474-9038 or online at archerluxurytravel.com.
Get Real Talk on your radio and even your phone.
I listen on the app most of the time on the 93.3. Yeah, just on my phone. I carry it around all day long. I listen out in the pool. I listen while I'm gardening. I listen when I'm driving or we're going in places.
I listen to what my wife listens to, and she's on there all day long pretty much.
The weekend shows are great.
Yeah, it's a very, very good station.
Listen and interact anytime, anywhere.
Get the app free at your favorite app store. Look for the Eagle logo.
Keep that frequency clear. The Real Talk Radio Network is available. The Real Talk Radio Network. KRTK Herman, KPMO Vandalia, KRTE Stillville. The voice of freedom. Talk Radio Network weather brought to you by the Rick and Tracy Ellis team with eXp Realty.
A little bit of rain and some cooler temperatures in the forecast this week. We start sunny, but pretty quickly today we're going to see clouds roll in. Could be a couple of showers or a thunderstorm as we go into the afternoon. High temperature in the mid-80s. Scattered showers tonight with a low in the mid-60s. Tuesday, chance for showers. It's mostly cloudy and definitely cooler. High temperatures Tuesday in the low 70s. I'm Fox 2 News meteorologist Chris Higgins for the Real Talk Radio Network.
For residential and commercial trash, recycling, and yard waste services, it's Grace Hauling. Grace Hauling can get it done. They're family-owned and been in business since 1998. And most of all, they strive to honor our Lord and Savior. They'll give you the best service possible and competitive pricing. And their on-the-go hauling roll-off division has containers from 10 to 40 yards. GraceHauling.com or call 636-398-8060 or on the go at 636-828-5929.
From a full replacement new roof to a small roof rescue, St. Charles County knows Brian Dawson Roofing provides top quality materials and workmanship to any size roof repair or restoration you got. A Brian Dawson roof rescue is going to keep you and your family safe and secure, keeping homes dry one roof at a time. Check out the website, request a quote. Financing's available. All info at BrianDawsonRoofing.com.
Real Talk Radio gets results.
Hey, Real Talk listeners, this is Everett Jones from Jones Air and Water Treatment. I got to say that the investment I've had in Real Talk Radio has been awesome. I appreciate all the business that comes my way from you listeners.
Our creative department will work with you to develop an effective commercial and ad campaign to put your message out to our continually growing attentive and loyal audience.
You are no-nonsense kind of people.
Call 636-299-3702 today to join the Real Talk family.
Looking for that perfect gift or something fabulous for your home? Visit April's on Main and Designs by Ave, celebrating 10 years in business. From custom florals they can design with your own pieces to stunning artwork, candles, fashion accessories, and hilarious adult gifts. Browse popular lines like Innis, Sweet Grace, Swan Creek, Consuela, and Chala. Plus, don't miss their garden flags, yard spinners, and gorgeous Mexican pottery. Stop in and see what's new at April's on Main and Designs by Ave, 222 North Main Street, St. Charles. Follow them on Facebook.
Hey everybody, this is James Worldwide Watson. Listen to Outdoors in the Republic every Sunday at 8 a.m. with Big Al and the Angry Pirate.
We'll cover subjects like the National Pro Fishing League, Major League Fishing, Bass Elites, Anglers in Action, the Big Bass Bash, and a myriad of tournaments going on in the local Missouri areas, all the way from Table Rock Lake up to Lake of the Ozarks, Palmy, Stockton, you name it, we'll be there.
The Rob Carter Show.
It is time to shine in the Show Me State. With a super majority of Republicans in Missouri, we still have DEI in schools. We still have to pay personal property taxes, and half of our budget comes from the feds. Are GOP voters getting hustled? Join me on The Rob Carter Show.
The Rob Carter Show, weekdays from 9 until noon on the Real Talk Radio Network.
Are you thinking about buying or selling a home? Are you looking to build or buy land? Maybe you're thinking about making some home improvements, or you have questions about building inspections and home repairs. If so, tune into the Rick and Tracy Ellis Show every Saturday morning at 9 a.m. and Sunday at 10 a.m., where you'll hear all of the information about real estate.
The views and opinions of the following program are not necessarily those of the staff, management, ownership, or sponsors of the Real Talk Radio Network. Portions may be pre-recorded.
This is the Real Talk Radio Network.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, standing shoulder to shoulder with you during the the Democrat nightmare, leading you back to a place of wonder, joy, and meaning in your life. The Right Side with Doug Billings and General Flynn coming up in 30 minutes, ladies and gentlemen. The Right Side with Doug Billings now upon you. Let's go. You know, ladies and gentlemen, we have in this country something that I know you all know matters. We have election integrity issues, and that matters. I saw some of the chatter, and we are entering into hour 2. I want to talk about that as we begin this hour. Election integrity. Here we go, folks. Let's get to it. All right.
My name is General Mike Flynn. I'm here to do a big shout out for my great friend and one of the best in the business, Mr. Doug Billings. Right side with Doug Billings. He is the new Rush Limbaugh. He's exactly what America needs.
This is The Right Side with Doug Billings. And now, here he is, your host, Doug Billings.
It's right, ladies and gentlemen, saving the Republic with every breath I take and every move I make, along with you. You are a key part of what we do and how we save the Republic. It is our duty when we think about the Republic to save it, to steward it, to pass it on to our kids. And nothing matters here unless we tackle one issue. And that we get a resolution to this one issue. Nothing. If you think, you look at the issues in your own perspective, what matters to you? Those of you who are listening, John, Elaine, Tim, Sam, Joe, and Joanne, all of you that have made comments and so forth online. What matters? Is it life, the right to life? Is it our Second Amendment? Is it the right to pursue life, liberty, and happiness? The ending of property tax? What matters to you? Maybe all of those things matter to you. Well, unless we fix our election system, none of that matters, because we'll continue to get people in by fraud who work against us. So for me, election integrity is item numero uno. That's the number one issue. We have to tackle it. And we are coming up, next year, this year too, for that matter. We have elections. We have primaries coming up. And I want to tell you right now, if you have a rhino problem where you live, and most of us do, you're going to want to understand how to define what a rhino really is in order to fix this election integrity issue. A rhino, one of the litmus tests, one of the ones that I use, I'll ask a person who's running for office. Now, a person who's already in office, we have their record. We can look at how they voted. So we know whether or not that person's a rhino or not. But if you've got a new candidate who's arrived on the scene and they're talking a good game, but you're still not convinced if they're a rhino or not, ask them this question. Mr. or Mrs. Candidate, do you believe that we have in this country significant election integrity issues? Do you believe in our state that we have significant election integrity issues? Now, if that person begins to hem or to haw, or if they say no, just outright, folks, that person is a rhino. We can't afford to have that kind of flim-flam, wishy-washy answer from our candidates who are trying to earn the right to have an R after their name. Local Republican committees throughout the counties in the state in which you live have got to begin to vet these candidates. We have to root out these rhinos, and with wisdom and patience, we'll do it. We have to have wisdom because we need to understand who these people really are. We have to have patience because we know that we can't just root them out overnight. We have to be determined in our patriotism. That means we have to show up to vote, and we especially have to show up during the primary election. I can't stress this enough, and not enough of us do. We say, well, I want to see who wins the primary and then I'll vote. Well, that's nonsense. We need you now. If you take that approach, the rhinos are going to win the primary, and then we're stuck. We're stuck with them in the general election. Then we've got to choose between a Democrat and a rhino. Now, I understand that in most cases, a rhino is the better option, but still, it's a terrible choice. We need, and especially people, it never ceases to amaze me. Oh, I don't want to give any money until whoever wins the primary. Well, that is, with all respect, that's the wrong approach. For all of you out there considering supporting candidates, don't wait until they win the primary. Support the true conservative in the race right now. The true MAGA conservative. Support that person and be happy and go with it. We can't wait until these things are resolved in a primary election. So going forward, midterms looming around the corner, every blue city mayor, every blue state governor, they're sweating bullets. And probably a bad pun to use because they don't use bullets. They don't know what bullets are. But they are sweating because voters in cities like Philly, Los Angeles, New York City, they're waking up. Yes, New York City, I said it. I know that the media gives the radical left looming communist all of the airtime, but people are tired of dodging the bullets, not just sweating them. They're tired of walking down the street to the grocery store and wondering whether or not they're going to be the victim of a drive-by shooting. So Trump's play is forcing the conversation. Do you want more of the same failed compassion? Or do you want real conservative strength in your city? We're seeing it already. Polls shifting in red urban settings, swinging to the right. And it's momentum, ladies and gentlemen. It really is. And the right side is your headquarters for that momentum. We are going to do everything we can to tell you the truth and to motivate you towards hope, real hope that lasts, and to talk about determined patriotism. You know, if I said it once, I've said it 1,000 times. Determined patriotism is the hard work of it all. It's standing in line for a couple of hours or more at a time on election day to vote, and to vote during primaries. It's showing up at school board meetings. It's showing up at county commissioner meetings in your counties where you live. It's the hard work of it all. It's volunteering to be a poll watcher. This is how we recover America. We have not, as conservatives, done adequately well enough in those endeavors. And that's where we need to change. So root out the rhinos, get them on record. That's what I mean by vetting. We don't just take a nonchalant approach to this. Have them answer, come up, get with your Republican committees where you live. Come up with a vetting system. Get them on record with answers to Republican questions. All right, ladies and gentlemen, a little bit more with me when I come back from the break, and General Michael Flynn coming up after the 1:30 break. I'll be right back. Cheers.
You have heard of staycations, but the kiddie pool in the backyard is not exactly staycation worthy.
All right, kids, cannonball!
No, Dad! Pools are so much more than just a place to catch a tan and relax. They are a place to make family memories that will last a lifetime. With 50 years of experience creating custom concrete or fiberglass pools, Blue Haven can design a new pool that fits your family or remodel that old pool that's seen better days. Visit their 5,000 square foot showroom in St. Peters. Blue Haven Pools. Online at bluehavenofstlouis.com.
Stop the insanity. Don't overpay for low-quality windows. At Sane Windows, we take the insanity out of window replacement. As your locally owned Pella certified contractor, we install premium Pella windows and doors at insanely good prices. Right now, save $150 on every Pella window, plus 0% financing. Get your free quote today at sanewindows.com. That's sanewindows.com.
109 Pomodoro Circle in Winsville is listed for $599.9. This 1.5-story home with a main level primary suite is 5 beds, 4.5 baths, a 3-car oversized garage with a completely finished lower level located right in the heart of Winsville by all of the new schools. Call the Rick and Tracy Ellis team with eXp Realty today at 636-299-3702.
Hi, I'm Trisha. And I'm Jane. And we're inviting you to tune in to Unshakable Hope with Trisha and Jane. When the headlines want to shake us. When the culture wants to shock us. When our past regrets try to shame us, our goal is to point you toward the unshakable hope that is found in Jesus that is available to you right now. So join us every weekend for conversations that mean the most to you and your family on Unshakable Hope with Trisha and Jane.
Unshakable Hope, Sunday afternoons at 4 on the Real Talk Radio Network.
The Dan and Drew Morning Crew. St. Louis County Executive Sam Page. Of course, he's facing a whole bunch of legal scrutiny here recently.
He's an anesthesiologist. Could you imagine going into surgery and all of a sudden he comes walking in? You're like, oh, no.
It's like Kim Gardner being your nurse.
Oh, my God. That would really be the double kiss of death, wouldn't it?
Oh, my God. I'd run like hell. I'd be Jesus on water.
Weekday morning 6 to 9 on the Real Talk Radio Network.
Dan and Drew in the Morning Crew.
Love the morning show, the mixture of truth and laughter.
Mornings on the Real Talk Radio Network.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. The Right Side with Doug Billings on our debut on the Real Talk Radio Network, coming to you from smack dab in the middle of the fruited plain and dispensing intellectual maturity by the truckloads. So what we have is where I ended last hour. This whole the charade of chaos, the reality of chaos. I want to be clear that this is purposeful and it's done by the liberal movement in America for several reasons. Key among them is that they want to drive us to believe that the only cure for this chaos is big government. They want to, and again, I spoke about this last week a little bit when I was filling in for Rob, but this all began with President Barack Hussein Obama, ladies and gentlemen, who was the first American president to say out loud and on the record that America needs to be fundamentally transformed. And they meant for that to be a friendly sounding campaign slogan. But in reality, I knew it as soon as I heard it. America needs to be fundamentally transformed. What? From what, really, do you mean, Mr. President? From the divine providence of God? From the intent of the founding fathers? Yes. That's exactly what Obama meant, and that's what he set out to do. And the radical liberal movement in America have been igniting chaos ever since. George Floyd was just a fuse by which to ignite more chaos. The crisis today, President Trump, just simply a fuse used by the radical liberal movement to ignite more chaos. So Trump is not the villain here. He's the exterminator. And the vermin are scattering like crazy. Membership in that party down, membership in our party up, and it's good. And it makes perfect sense because, again, most people who think that they're still Democrats, John and Jane Doe on the streets of Springfield, Missouri, they're decent people. They believe they're still Democrats. They don't really know yet. They're not awake enough to know that the Democrat Party doesn't exist, that it's now the Communist Socialist Party. But they're waking up slowly but surely. And when they see the nightmare, when they understand the chaos is purposeful, when they understand that radical liberals in the elected class have meetings, literal meetings about how to instigate and ignite more chaos. It's the truth, by the way, they do. Then these people, John and Jane Doe, begin to leave the Democrat Party. The crown jewel, really, of what's happening in America today, the state of play in America, President Trump, the ultimate deal maker. He's gone after one more peace trophy. He's got Hamas on the ropes. We're going to see what Hamas does. No one trusts them. We will see. But the 20-point peace plan for Gaza is on the hook today. And for all I know, being with you since noon today Central Time, maybe something has broke with that story. But the sources inside have said over the weekend, at least, that Hamas was signaling yes to the peace deal. So we'll see. That includes, of course, a full deal for the hostages, both dead and alive. Marco Rubio was on the networks this past weekend and grinning like a cat who had just gotten the canary right. The president's vision is biblical in scope, is what Rubio had to say. And folks, where Biden dithered and Obama bowed to all these foreign dignitaries, Trump is turning swords into plowshares faster than you can say the Abraham Accords 2.0. And why is this huge? Because it's proof that American leadership, conservative, unapologetic, and unafraid leadership bends history. No more endless wars on the taxpayer dime. No more kowtowing to jihadists. This is conservative foreign policy at its finest. Peace through strength. It's exactly why we saw the Secretary of War speak to the generals last week, echoing Teddy Roosevelt and echoing the psalmist, by the way, who said, "Blessed is the Lord my rock, who trains my hands for war and my fingers for battle." Trump's training the world to respect us. But the left, of course, you hear nothing but crickets over there. Or worse, you hear sniper fire from the sidelines. And I'll tell you, the globalist crowd around the planet is once again terrified. Because Trump is on the move and people following Trump are on the rise, even more so than in his first term. Trump's Gaza plan is a masterstroke. The deadline, it's not a bluff. Trump's not going to bluff about something like this. Hamas, we'll see if they blink or not. But why shouldn't we? I mean, for us, I understand I'm preaching to a degree to the choir, but there are liberals who listen to this program. Oh, believe me, trust me. You'll see them troll all of us on social media. But why not believe Trump in the art of the deal? This is the businessman approach to foreign diplomacy. He's been closing billion-dollar projects since breakfast was a Continental Congress debate. Legacy media? Are you kidding? They're muted. They're muted on this. Muted at best, malicious at worst. They'll never get Trump credit, and they'll find something to make sure that it sounds like it's a problem. National Public Radio said over the weekend that it concerns us about these concessions. Really? You're concerned about concessions that a terror group has to make? You see, folks, that's Kookville. CNN said this is too Trump-centric, this peace deal. Please. I mean, this is why the Food Network beats CNN in the network ratings, folks. They're allergic to all of this, the legacy media. They're allergic to all of this because it works. It exposes their preferred path of weakness. The liberal preferred path appeases terrorists. It blames Israel and it funds the whole mess with our gas money, or Soros fills in with his check writing capability. Anti-American, you'd better believe it. American liberalism sells out our allies. It undermines the Judeo-Christian values that birthed Western civilization, not just America. And liberalism ignores the founding fathers' wisdom that said, and I quote, "Distrust and caution are the parents of security." Benjamin Franklin said that. Trump embodies all of the good in that, distrusting the snakes while they sign on the dotted line. We trust but verify, like Reagan used to do. Hamas is ready for peace? Well, we'll see. We will see what happens. We know in our hearts, we can feel it because we can see it, that Trump's on the right path. It's Abram Accords 2.0. Imagine what Trump is doing. He's linking Arabs, Jews, and the American people into prosperity. That's the analysis here. That's what Trump is after. Hamas out, the rebuilding of the Gaza Strip for Israel and for the Jewish population and for the Muslim population over there. And it can work as a template for other places in the world. No more Iranian puppets pulling strings in the Middle East. And divine timing, maybe. It feels like it, doesn't it? Trump's fighting all of this with American grit. And speaking of American grit, you're going to want to make sure you stay around for the next few minutes and after this break, because General Flynn will be with us. And we're getting him online now. And by the way, if you want to be part of the program, by all means, 636-224-6300 is our phone number. You're going to take this trip into capitalism, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to go and see if we can get General Flynn situated on the backside. I will see you after the break. Stay with me. Cheers.
Why can't you see?
This October, trade scrolling for skiing. Swap the screen time for the slopes with Archer Luxury Travel. Picture snow-dusted peaks, cozy chalets, and warm fires waiting after a perfect day on the mountain. Whether it's Aspen, Vail, or the Swiss Alps, let Deanna Archer design your dream winter escape. Call Deanna today at 832-474-9038 or visit archerluxurytravel.com. Your perfect ski trip begins here.
Hi, this is Billy Bush. If you know me, you know I love to travel with my family. There is nothing better. When planning our vacation, we rely on Archer Luxury Travel. Deanna Archer, owner of this family business, makes sure our vacation experience is a great one. Give Deanna a call when you're planning your vacation. That's Archer Luxury Travel.
Call Archer today, 832-474-9038 or online at archerluxurytravel.com.
Once Upon Guns has a large variety of inventory with over 1,100 guns, including new, used, rare, and collectible pieces, plus engagement rings, fashion jewelry, and a wide range of tools, antiques, game systems, computers, and musical instruments. Whether you're buying or needing a quick pawn loan, Once Upon Guns has you covered. No credit checks, no hassle, just fair loans with flexible terms. Small loans, big loans, we do them all. Once Upon Guns, 12500 Veterans Memorial Parkway, Wentzville. Call 636-887-0075.
Stop dreaming of owning a home and let the Rick and Tracy Ellis team with eXp Realty help you make it happen. We know the process can feel overwhelming, but that's where we come in. We have a team of vendors to help you throughout the process and beyond with anything and everything you need during home ownership. After nearly 30 years in the business, we have vetted quality and affordable vendors in the industry. People ask us all the time how they can support us at the Real Talk Radio Network if they don't have a small business to advertise. You can support us by letting the Rick and Tracy Ellis team represent you with becoming a homeowner. We specialize in making home buying easy, stress-free, and exciting. From finding the perfect home to securing the best deal, we will be with you every step of the way. Stop renting and start investing in your future today. Call us at 636-299-3702 or email me at tracy@tracyellis.com. Let's turn your dream home into a reality.
Biohacking your body is more important than ever. Join me, Dr. Bashima Williams, weekly on Saturday and Sunday at 7 a.m. for the Biohack Your Body Show. We explore simple strategies from contrast therapy, all things peptides, to the latest in longevity and wellness. This will help you optimize your energy, resilience, and health span. Join me every Saturday and Sunday at 7 a.m. as we dive into the practical side of biohacking and discover how small changes can transform your body and mind.
The Real Talk Radio Network was named Missouri Magazine's best radio station of the year last year, and this year we've stepped it up a notch. Missouri Magazine has named the Real Talk Radio Network not only best news talk station in Missouri, but best radio station in the entire state.
And the award goes to the Real Talk Radio Network.
Proud to be the voice for hardworking Missourians who love faith, family, and freedom. Missouri Magazine's best news talk station and best station for all of Missouri. The Real Talk Radio Network. Wear your love of freedom with Real Talk Radio Network merchandise and apparel.
From stylish caps, t-shirts, hoodies, and more.
Wear your true colors of the red, white, and blue.
Every purchase supports the conservative values we cherish so much, as well as the Real Talk Radio Network.
Shop now. Visit our website for great gifts and apparel at realtalk933.com.
Visit realtalk933.com today and order your Real Talk Radio apparel.
That's realtalk933.com. The Reckoning.
I've been listening to y'all for about a year. I agree 100%. Your show's perfect name because that's what our government needs is a reckoning from top to bottom. It's a bunch of crooked politicians that don't care nothing about us little people that get up and go to work every day.
Don't miss out. We got a reckoning to restore America. Faith, family, and politics every weekday at 4. We'll do it here.
The Reckoning with Ryan Haidt on the Real Talk Radio Network. The Reckoning.
They really take time to gather their information.
The Real Talk Radio Network.
93.3.
The voice of freedom.
All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for being part of the Real Talk Radio Network. Fish, I just got a text from General Flynn. Melissa, his assistant, needs the link. I sent you both a text, so we'll make sure that you can get the link to her, and we'll get the General on here in just a few moments. Ladies and gentlemen, we are making progress, and we'll have him here in just a minute. All right, now, with regards to Trump, the Trump effect, Gaza peace, Trump's not stopping at handshakes here, folks. Point number 12 in the plan. Have you read it? United States economic corridors linking the region to our markets. Talking about the Middle East. Jobs for Palestinians is what this peace process and this proposal means. Security for Israelis. Zero veto power for the United Nations. I love that. I love that piece of it. I have been suggesting that the United States ought to think seriously. I said this back in 2020, and I said it again. It's the last election, the election cycle. The United States ought to think considerably and seriously about withdrawing from the UN. I think that's the right way to go. Now, not the United, not NATO. Don't. If you're from Raytown, Missouri, don't get confused here. I'm talking about the United Nations. NATO still plays a role that can be vital, especially now since they're paying their own way. But I've often wondered, why wouldn't we want to? Why wouldn't we want to involve the withdrawal? I think so. But anyway, my point is, maybe I'm digressing. I'm looking at the 12-point plan. Jobs for Palestinians, security for Israel, zero veto power for the UN. That is MAGA global effect. Trade over tanks, strength over sanctions. Why does it matter to us in the United States, in flyover country? Why does all of this matter? Simple. Because fewer vets are coming home in boxes with Trump as president. Lower oil prices at the pump, and a Middle East too busy building to worry about bombing. Contrast that with the liberal diplomacy that we've seen, ladies and gentlemen. Endless talks, yappity yap, photo ops. And don't forget the pallets of cash that were given to the mullahs by the then Obama and Biden administration. Remember Iran 2.0 under Sleepy Joe? Billions of dollars funneled to fund proxies that attacked our bases. That's liberal foreign policy in action. It's dangerous. It's anti-American because it prioritizes elite salons over soldier safety. Look, folks, our founders, fresh from the revolution, knew, and they said it. John Jay wrote it. Peace is preferable to war, but ignoble peace is worse than war. Trump is noble in all of this. He's noble as he fires and forges ahead with the fire of resolve and with our republic. And the ripple effect is obvious, and you can see it. Our allies, no matter what the legacy media is telling you, folks, our allies are emboldened and they're united. Saudi is whispering normalization of relationships. Europe is finally funding its own defense. Imagine that. This is the arc bending toward American exceptionalism, blessed by providence that President Trump has put in place. Liberals hate it because it proves that their multilateral mushmash doesn't deliver. What it does deliver, if you're a liberal, is chaos, and that's what they want. This is not a coincidence. And we have General Flynn, I think, on the line. General?
How you doing? Great.
My goodness, my friend. It's been too long, and it's good to have you back on the program, the right side.
Yeah, how you doing, Doug?
Doing well, my friend, doing well. I'm an eternal optimist, General. I know that we're still in a little bit of a nightmare here, thanks to Administrator Biden and Vice Pretender Harris. I get that. I'm looking around. Trump is delivering an awful lot of hope. There's all sorts of things. There's all sorts of things that we could talk about. But in the 14 minutes or so that we have you, as you look across, we have issues. We have Trump with Hamas and a peace deal potentially. We have all sorts of things. But this is what I want to hear from you. As you look across the state of play in America and around the world as America is involved, what are you seeing, General?
Well, I think that the focus that the American people want right now, Doug, is right here in the homeland, right? We see Antifa, sowing chaos in Chicago and Portland and other parts of the country. They're not giving up. Trump has designated them as a terrorist group, for that matter, and there's going to have to be some accountability of them. But I think sort of bigger picture is that Trump is really putting the screws to everybody right now. I think with the designation of these cartels as terrorist organizations, the deployment of National Guard forces in certain parts of the country, the shutting down of the border, he's really honing in on our sort of the economic conditions of the country. I do think, though, that there is a element around him, and certainly in his administration, that continues to sort of pull him into these foreign policy challenges that we have, right? Middle East, Ukraine. It'd be interesting to see what the outcome is in Venezuela. I'm watching very closely the president, the kinds of actions he's taking, and what he's saying. Maybe Maduro will get smart and he'll leave, and Venezuela can turn into a more legitimate democracy as it is, right? They had an election a couple of years ago, or at least a year and a half ago now, and they had a duly elected president, Machado, and that she is still down in Venezuela. So you got all these different balls that Trump is juggling. The most important one, though, is the safety and security of the American people, and I think that's really at the forefront of everything that he does. I would say another high priority, and I know it is a high priority for him, is elections. Our elections and the integrity and security of our elections is another thing that he has paid very close attention to, and he's actually he created a new office the other day, and he appointed another person by the name of Mr. Olson, a lawyer by the name of Olson, and who I think you might know, as the assistant to the president for election security and integrity. And I think what they're going to be looking at between him, the DNI, Tulsi Gabbard, Department of Homeland Security, and those in the White House, people like Stephen Miller, probably Haley is another one, Vince Haley, I think, is the other name. They're going to be looking at our elections, our upcoming elections, and can we secure our elections? Can we have an election that's fair without all of the craziness that we went through in 2020 and even in 2024? So that's kind of the landscape in general. I do think that the president's number one priority is and remains America first. It's the homeland. It's taking care of the safety and security of the American people. And frankly, it's making sure that I think every day that goes by, he looks hard at the economy, the economic conditions of the country. How can we improve the economic conditions of the country? And all that in a world that is appears very chaotic and very complex, with all the other things going on, in Europe, the Middle East, and in our own hemisphere.
Well, it's as if you've been listening to the program. We just finished a segment I did where I was talking about the issues that, the issues that concern us as conservatives, the right to life, the right to pursue life, liberty, and happiness, our Second Amendment, our security. None of that matters. None of it. Unless we have election integrity. I was just literally talking about that. Yeah. And it's it's got to be one of our top agenda items. If Americans can't trust the elections, and people that would dare to say, especially people on our side who are running for office or in office, if they dare to say things like, well, we don't have election integrity issues, that's a rhino if they're on our side, General.
Yeah, it is. That's somebody who hasn't been paying attention. and certainly hasn't listened to what President Trump has talked about.
Yeah.
When he says the 2020 elections were rigged, and this investigation that seems to be going on inside of the administration about AutoPen, right? I mean, Joe Biden's presidency, the entire thing might have been by AutoPen, and God help us if that's the case, because if there is in fact, well, first of all, Tulsi Gabbard, the director of national intelligence, stated emphatically that there is foreign influence in our elections. There's no doubt about it. It's clear now. So it's not like we're guessing, because she said it. Now, that was also stated by the acting DNI back in 2021, John Ratcliffe. He also said that there was foreign interference in our elections at that time. And he specifically said the Chinese were interfered. So the people of our country want to believe that we have fair elections. We all want to believe that. What I want people to do is I want people to still get out there and vote, but I want people that, as you have heard me say ad nauseum, local action, national impact, right? Yep. So the people at their local levels, they have got to really, stand up, step up, speak up about our election integrity. It's got to be fixed. We cannot have these machines. We cannot have mail-in ballots. The post office shouldn't be involved in anything to do with our elections. Should not be. I mean, we need a real voter ID. We need we need paper ballots. We need to be hand counting them at the precinct level, and then move the numbers up quickly up to the federal level. That should be able to be done in a very short period of time. So, I mean, we got calculators, we got smart people, we can count. Yeah. I mean, there's other countries on the planet that don't have any of the machinery, and they actually have fair voting, and their outcomes are pretty good. I mean, when we look at some of the other countries around the planet that got rid of all the machinery and go to what I just described, they're comfortable. The people in those countries feel that they can trust their elections. Right now, the United States of America, the people in this country, not until we get rid of these machines and we get rid of the fraudulent activity that happens when you do mail-in ballots. So elections are the number one thing, because that's what makes us big time different than any other country on the planet, is our election system to maintain our constitutional republic. And like I am prone to say, we are not a democracy, we are a constitutional republic.
100%. I say that all the time, and we notice, you and I and the radical left, I call them the Communist Socialist Party. The Democrat Party doesn't exist, in my opinion, any longer. Right. But they will never say, in fact, I am certain they're under orders never to say the word republic, whether it's in the media or in private. They just don't do it. It's the root word of Republican, and we have a Republican form of government. That's just the truth, but they'll never say it. General, so much that I want to ask in so little time. You spend a lot of your time in Washington, D.C. these days. What can you tell us? What are you doing? Are you advising the president?
Yeah, so I'm up in Washington, D.C. quite a bit, actually, at least a few days a week. Last week I was there, all week. So I am in the middle of different things, and one of the things that I do, among others, is we are involved in whistleblower cases that go directly to federal court. So we have a number of whistleblower cases that are already in federal court, or they're in like the tax courts, because some of it just is tax related issues, because that's the only way to get after these people. So, but we have a number of whistleblower cases in federal court. We take those cases, we present them to the Department of Justice. We present them to OMB. We present them to other parts of the government, because they're out of those cases, there's good intelligence, there is criminal behavior, there's money laundering, there's all kinds of other types of actions, illegal and illicit actions that people in our government are definitely interested in. As far as advising people, I stay in close contact with many of our senior leaders in the government, and that's just the way I've decided to be able to function, because it actually gives me a lot more flexibility. Because a lot of times, this is what happens when you get into government, which is something I'm very familiar with. You get into government and you suddenly find yourself like in a stovepipe, or you find yourself in a vacuum where you go into a building and you can't even get access to your phone for the day, right? I mean, it's that bad. So I actually feel far better and more flexible in what I'm able to do and what we are doing. And we have people working all over the world, involved in different activities, and it's all good. I mean, I enjoy it. It's what I'm good at, and we are definitely impacting on things like our national security to make it better.
Thank you, General. Hey, we are up against the break, and we've got to go. I want to be respectful of your time. Can you come back after the break, or is this so long for now? Either way is fine. I want to make sure we respect you.
Yeah, I can come back maybe 5 minutes, after another 5 minutes.
That'll just give us 2 minutes for the commercial break, and we'll have you back for 5. Thanks.
Fifth Street Billiards Bar and Grill in Dupont, Illinois is a great spot to hang out with family and friends. Grab some great food from their large menu and then take advantage of 12 pool tables available at no charge. That's right, free pool. Fifth Street Bar and Grill also features a full bar with video gaming area and recreational but competitive co-ed pool league. Call 618-601-1321 to book your next party or event at Fifth Street Billiards Bar and Grill, 200 North 5th Street in Dupont, Illinois. It's in a safe residential area, only a 10-minute drive from both the Poplar Street or JB Bridge, with ample off-street parking. Open 7 days a week, 10 a.m. to 1 a.m.
Are you tired of dealing with pain, stiffness, or low energy? Struggling with headaches, back pain, or poor sleep? Your body was designed to heal, but stress, misalignment, and daily wear and tear can hold you back. At Turning Point Chiropractic, we help you take back your health naturally. Text FREEDOM to 636-220-3091 to get 50% off your first visit, including an exam, consultation, and any necessary x-rays. Turning Point, where your health and healing begin.
Stop the insanity. Don't overpay for low-quality windows. At Sane Windows, we take the insanity out of window replacement. As your locally owned Pella certified contractor, we install premium Pella windows and doors at insanely good prices. Right now, save $150 on every Pella window, plus 0% financing. Get your free quote today at sanewindows.com. That's sanewindows.com.
Are you still searching for answers to your health concerns? At the Center for Natural Health in St. Charles, we take a different approach, a holistic one. Through chiropractic care, acupuncture, nutrition, and muscle testing, we uncover the root cause of your pain, even when others can't. That's why people drive hours to see us. Before giving up hope, give us a call. The Center for Natural Health, helping your body heal itself. Visit tcnh-stl.com or call 636-724-5757.
This radio station has just been the best thing for conservatives. We just need to all band together.
The Real Talk Radio Network.
A little less conversation, a little more action. All this aggravation ain't satisfaction in me. A little more bite, a little less spark. A little less fight, a little more spark. Close your mouth and open up your heart and maybe satisfy me. Satisfy me, baby. Baby, close your eyes and listen to the music. Dig to the summer breeze. It's a groovy night and I can show you how to use it. You come along with me and put your mind at ease. Hey, a little less conversation, a little more action. All this aggravation ain't satisfaction in me. A little more bite, a little less bark. A little less fight, a little more spark. Shut your mouth and open up your heart and baby, satisfy me. Satisfy me, baby. Come on, baby, I'm tired of talking. Grab your coat and let's start walking.
General, welcome back. I appreciate you being here. My friend, General Michael Flynn, ladies and gentlemen. I tell you, we are absolutely in a spot, General, where the Real Talk Radio Network making a difference. I just got a text from one of our the producers and one of our friends in the studio booth, from Finland to Australia to Alaska and everywhere in between. You're being heard, General. Beautiful. You're being heard. And you know, I got a great text, and this is a guy who I know you know as well. He's always been there for me. He has been supportive, and this is what we need in America. We need patriots. Our mutual friend Cameron Moore. Just a great guy who has been very helpful to me along the way. You know Cameron.
Yep.
And that's what it takes. In the few minutes that we've got with you, what do you think about that, those kinds of people, those patriots? And then I want to talk a little bit about, we also have a mutual friend in the name of Kash Patel. I want to talk a little bit about that. Patriotism, involvement, people like Cameron. What's your take on that?
Yeah, I think that all of us in America that believe in our country and see what is happening to it, this attack by this unipolar group of globalists who want they call it a new world order, like it's a big deal. They want one world control is what they want.
Yes.
And so we're going to have to use every single patriot that's out there who has a set of skills and a courage to stand up and just do the right thing. And when that happens, when you stand up and you do the right thing to stand for America as a sovereign nation, right? You're going to get attacked. We know Karen's been attacked, Kash has been attacked, I've been attacked, you've been attacked. All of us that stand up for what I call the harder right, and I'm not talking about the right side of something, I'm talking about the harder right thing to do.
Yep.
When you stand up for patriotism, when you stand up for nationalism, I mean, nationalism isn't Nazi, right? Nazi is National Socialism. That's what they try to do. They try to use and they try to morph and shape words into things that they're not. And what is a nationalist? A nationalist is somebody who has a belief in their nation, a belief in this country, right? And then is a pro-America, right? Pro-patriot. So when you stand up and you do anything that is along those lines, the left, which is very powerful, very well funded, and has a big voice in the mainstream media still, they're going to attack you, and try to brutally persecute you. And it's been done to all of us. And the American people have finally said enough is enough. We're done. And that's why we chose President Trump in November, this past November. But at the same time, everybody now, I think I see it, more and more people are standing up for this country. And that's what we need. That's why I get back to my, the phrase that I've sort of dug my heels in on is local action equals a national impact. It's time to stand up, step up, and speak up for our country, for our community, for our churches. People have got to do that. We see the rise of Islamism in the United States. We see the rise of communism inside of our government. We see this conspiracy that started under Obama. There's no ifs, ands, or buts, no conspiracy theory about it. It was a conspiracy to undermine a duly elected president, in the case of Donald Trump in 2016, and the color revolution, which we are in the midst of, has not ended. So we've got to continue to fight back, and how we fight back is we fight back at the local level by doing the right thing, by getting involved and engaging at the levels that you can control. So now I'm talking to your audience. This is not about, you can't control what Donald Trump is going to do today. You can't. None of us can. But what you can control is what you do in your own communities, in your own, townships, in your own city councils, school boards, etc. You can control whether you go volunteer to help out with voting, right? We're back to voting. So anyway, people need to figure that out and then decide, this is how I'm going to get involved. Now, there's people out there, Doug, that are leaders, right? Leaders in their communities, and they know who they are. So gather people around you, use those leadership skills, and do more for your communities. And we can, and maybe we can stitch this country back together.
Amen. You remind me, I say it all the time. Obama was the first president to say it out loud. They wanted to make it sound like a simple campaign slogan. America needs to be fundamentally transformed. Well, that's nonsense. We're not going to let that happen. General, listen, I appreciate you. Thank you for taking time to be on this program, our inaugural debut on the Real Talk Radio Network. Thank you, my friend.
I love it. God bless, Doug. Talk to you later.
God bless you. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for making it a great first show. I'll be back tomorrow and every day, Monday through Friday, noon to 2 o'clock Central. We're in this together. Believe it. Cheers.
In this family, we don't let our people deal with hard water. You got salt bags to haul? Forget about it. Filters to change? That's not your problem anymore. At Bono Plumbing, we take care of everything. Installation, maintenance, plus salt delivery. We've been serving St. Charles and the surrounding neighborhood since 2014. And we've built a reputation that even our competitors wouldn't dare mess with. We treat your family like we treat our own, with respect, honesty, and care. Call 636-294-9110 or visit bonoplumbing.com. Got plumbing problems? Forget about it.
Want to look better and feel better? Mending Light Therapy in Washington, Missouri offers powerful red and green light therapy to help you thrive. Boost your energy, sharpen your mind, sleep better, and recover faster with red light therapy. Or try green light therapy to reduce stress, pain, migraines, and even lose inches in smooth cellulite. Conveniently located at Highway 100 and High Street, 1451 High Street, Suite 207. Call 636-432-1000 or visit mendinglighttherapy.com.
The Real Talk Radio Network. KRTK Herman, KVMO Vandalia, KRTE Stillville. The voice of freedom. Real Talk Radio Network weather brought to you by the Rick and Tracy Ellis team with EXP Realty.
A little bit of rain and some cooler temperatures